In this video, my goal is to just share with you just a fun tip on making your own washi tape. Now, there's probably a lot of people that have done this. I don't know. I didn't go research it. It's just something that I started doing. And what I wanted to share with you were, some of the ways of doing it. And what I have on my desk here is this, for example, we're going to finish this one. I went ahead and got started because I was just stamping, and you're you know how to do that, but I'll do a little bit. This particular paper is a slick backing paper that comes with labels. This particular label is it's an Avery, and it comes with two big mailing labels on it. And I'm mailing stuff frequently, so I've saved all of this backing paper. It is so handy. So if you have your own return address labels and you're peeling off those return address labels, that slick paper you can keep and you can use it for something like this. I also went ahead and I made some with wax paper. The purpose of all these surfaces is that they tape will not stick to it. And I'll get to the tape in a minute, this particular tape. So I had a bunch of these small flower stamps. And what you want to do with washi tape is use small images most of the time. So anything that you have that are little detail things. So all of these little flower images, I think I picked up most of them at thrift stores, and they're just perfect for making the little tiny images. And you can see there's gaps between the different tapes. So there's some flowers. And then I also, now this is a just a plastic bag. I mean, this is a food a food plastic bag. So any of the food plastic bags works well. The tape will not stick to it. So you've got a lot of options. So we have wax paper and release paper, plastic bag, and then I also have here a cereal bag, a cereal liner bag, and not just cereal, but there's a lot of products now that you can get that have liner bags, and those are wonderful release papers. So the tape that I'm using is you can use any masking tape. This is a type of masking tape. I got it as an artist tape, and it comes in different sizes. And I originally got it because I do use it to mount my my little watercolor paintings and stuff like that in a mat. And so I just need some mounting tape to make sure it doesn't fall out, right? Um, but it's come in very, very handy for all sorts of uses in the journal making. And one of the things I've used it for is like hinging, um, or yeah, mounting something in so that I create a flip-flop kind of a thing with envelopes, repairing an envelope. I can use clear tape, or I can use this kind of tape. So what I did for the demo here, and I've got one more to go, what I did for the demo is I put all three of these sizes, which you can pretty well see here. There's all three sizes. And I tried it in different ways for the demo. In this one, I put the three sizes really close together. You can see that there's two strips of each size of tape. Let me see if it shows better with some white paper underneath. Eh, so-so. So that's the tape I'm using. You can use a masking tape, anything that has a matte finish. You can't do it with like packing tape that's shiny. You can't do it with shiny. I have not tried sanding the surface of shiny tape to give it a little tooth, a little grip so that it can hold ink and paint and stuff like that. So that's where it comes in. I'll get to that in a minute, but let me set that aside. And so let's see, I have cereal bag, wax paper, plastic wrap, plastic bags from the grocery store, anything that's very slick and shiny. And this is the technical release paper. Another thing about stamping that is good to know is when you're using clear stamps. Now, I have many years with rubber stamps, and they have a cushion on the back. And that cushion gives you just that little bit of give. So on any kind of irregularity of surface or anything like that, will the cushion will allow for a good imprint. That's what I'm looking for. Whereas with the clear stamps, and I've been using these with one of these acrylic blocks, or I have several sizes. Well, both of them are pretty hard, so there's not much cush. So I always put a stack of paper underneath, and that just gives a little bit of give. So if you find that helpful, that might you might get some better impressions in some cases. So I do like to even a piece of chipboard, cardboard, but not the corrugated, but just a really smooth chipboard. So I wanted to do a variety of different images. So this one is this foliage stamp. And I stamped it with three different shades of green. And this is a permanent dye ink, the Memories is. Okay? So I stamped it with three different shades of green just get a lot of texture and that sort of thing. With the flowers, those were also some clear stamps. I have this little group I picked up somewhere. So they're small, there's a little detail in them. The other thing that I was thinking about is after I did a whole lot of the flower or plant life, I took the tiny butterfly and I strategically placed the butterfly into white spaces or little spaces, but fully on each of the tapes. So I have narrow tape and I just made sure that I put the butterfly within the tape itself. I didn't bridge across for that. So there's just a thought there. So that's that one. And with this one, I did pick up a few of a few Tim Holtz with our store going out of business. I did pick up a few Tim Holtz clear stamps, and this one is kind of a small selection of specimen stamps. So for this one, I was being both strategic as well as crossing over. So you can kind of see with the shine in between where the tape is. And I put the tape down here a little closer together. There's a little more of a gap there. So I was being strategic. I started out with the big specimen stamp, and I wasn't trying to make sure that the word specimen was on everything. And then I went with the next largest stamp. I went with this moth, and I was trying to, put as much as possible on one of the tapes. Obviously, I couldn't do it for its entirety. And then I just went random. And for this one, I decided I would use the Distress Oxides. And what I was thinking about there, and what you can see is starting to change here, is I finally went into the antique linen, and I could have done that first. And I'm just vintaging, if that's a word, I'm vintaging the tape. So I'm making it look kind of yellowish. And at this point, the images are pretty dry, so. Oh, and I'm just using a little piece of wadded up bubble wrap. It's one of my favorite tools is just wadded up bubble wrap. And I can take just a little, it's because it's still got this little bubbles on it. I can take that and I can look for, oh, just little spots here and there. Kind of add a little dot of grunge here and there. Maybe where there's a white spot or, yeah, I filled it up pretty good. Now, one of the advantages of having your tapes far apart. So let's set that aside for a minute. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Being Distress Oxide, I have a little bottle of water here. Being distress oxide, I'm going to go ahead and just put a few drops on there. Set that aside, let that do its thing. I'm just learning about distress oxides. I haven't experimented that much yet. So let me go ahead and age these tapes first. Get them yellowed up a little bit here. So one of the advantages of having your tapes far apart when you're doing this is it makes it easier to go in and darken the edges because you can, there's enough space in between. I think I'll go with the ground espresso, and it's more obvious going into the darkness. There we go. And sometimes in my projects, this is all I do. I just kind of darken up the edges and use a little vintage photo or something like that, and something to play with, till you get the effect you're really looking for. And then you can just kind of bop around and just make this look like kind of a grungy piece of tape, right? And that's enough. That gives you that kind of effect that works just fine on some pages where you don't really need much decoration. And of course, let's see, let me grab this. So of course you can always, I've got better stencils than this for this, but of course you can always go in and do just a little bit of splat kind of things. Yeah, that's good. Just add a little bit of that. Don't need a lot. So just a little extra stuff there. Okay. Um, what else? What else? Oh, yes. Say you want something more transparent. This is my little Scotch tape holder. Say you want some translucent washi tape. Well, you can do that with the Scotch Magic Tape because the Scotch Magic Tape you can write on, so you can ink on it. Okay, so let me see. Let me get a bug here. We'll just get a bug and we'll get an acrylic. Maybe all I want is a string of bugs. Probably a smaller bug would be good, but that's okay. I can alternate. Make sure I'm on camera. Ooh, just have a string of bugs. There we go. So now you've got a string of bugs on some kind of see-through tape. When that's thoroughly dry and you burnish it down, you'll just have a string of bugs, right? So that's fun. Or maybe you want to do numbers, or you want to do words, or you want to do something like that. Well, just use just use some transparent tape. Again, you don't want the shiny stuff. So this is washi tape. And I'm going to go ahead and just use one of these pieces of paper and we'll take some off and we'll see how it looks. So let's go ahead and here's a wide piece. See, it just comes right off. This is going to be really handy for a couple of the journals I have in mind that are going to be themed around a garden. And let's see, let's take off one of the narrower ones. And then they're just on these surfaces and they'll just keep and keep and keep. So you can just put it in a folder so that you can always find it. And there's that one. That's pretty. I think, yeah, I think inking the edges, well, not necessarily. See, again, it depends on what you're using it for. Oh, let's have our string of bugs. You got a garden, you're going to have bugs. Of course, transparent tape sometimes is hard to see on these surfaces. Trying to get a hold of it here. Okay, so I think transparent tape on a cereal bag is not as good. See, that's how we're finding out, is not as good as doing it on the other surfaces. Because I'm getting a hard time getting it started because I really pushed it down. So that's good to know. Transparent tape sticks to cereal bags a little better. Okay, so we're going to stick to release paper for the transparent tape. Goodness, it really did stick down, didn't it? Okay. And I tried this before and it didn't. So I'm not crazy. I guess just pushing down on it too much really got it stuck down. There it goes. All right. There's one to know about. Transparent tape sticks a little bit stronger on cereal bags. Okay, there's our little parade of bugs. That's good to know. Let's take off a little bit of our grungy tape. What else do we have? Oh, yes, we have this. Oh yeah, I can see that the water kind of blurred a few things. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to share with you this idea that I've been using, which is making my own washi tape. And there's just times when, I mean, I'll show you. I mean, I do have, I have a drawer and I have washi tape in it. And I haven't used, I bought a collection and I got a few odds and ends here and there. And um, I haven't used them very much. I've always wanted to have something that was more specific to the project I was working on. So like when I did the yellow journal, excuse me, when I did the yellow journal, I didn't have any yellow washi tape and I wasn't going to go buy any. So I just made some. And I same thing with several of the others. I wanted something specific. So now I make specific tape for my needs. Okay, so yeah, so the transparent tape just becomes part of whatever you put it on. And if you get that oxide wet, it does do things. I have to play with that more. So these were permanent inks, and this was the distress, and this was part of the permanent. Um, yeah, I just wanted to share that tip with you today. So I hope that was helpful, and that you find that there's times when you just need a specific washi tape, and you know what to do. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. And yeah, bye for now.